We need copper. As you talked about building transmission lines, copper is a beautiful thing. Electrons just keep hopping along copper. We're going to need to mine it. We know we're going to need to mine it. Are we talking about where we're going to do that, though, and what that looks like? And some people don't want to. They do not want to talk. Minnesota is off limits. It's wet. You know, we have the best watersheds in the world. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what mining means. Because our watersheds are really important to us, and they should be. But there's watersheds everywhere, and they're really important to whoever lives there. Folks like to think we can recycle our way out of this. We can just recycle. What are you recycling? I live close to Xcel Energy's massive, is it 500 the big power lines that come down from Canada. And when those were being built, there was a gentleman who thought it'd be a good idea to steal metals from that power line, and he died. And he thought it'd be a good idea to steal from that site because metals are worth a lot to recycle. We are recycling. Anyone who's a contractor knows if you have copper wire on your site, you better make sure it's under lock and key because people will recycle it. We do recycle. But what we are asking for this world to produce is on a scale that we just have not got to. 70% of all the copper that's ever been mined is still in circulation. We know how to recycle it. We are recycling it, but there's just not enough in circulation to support it. And I put EVs up here, but it's just because I want us to walk through some math. Right now, 2.6 million light fleet vehicles in Minnesota, just Minnesota, not the nation, not the world, just Minnesota, and only 1% of those are EVs. If each one of those has 6 times as much metal as a non-EV car, and if by 2035, Minnesota's all new cars have to be electric or hydrogen powered, where are those metals coming from? Those batteries, I mean, it's not like cars just keep trading in. Ideally, those cars are going to run to 10 to 15 years on those batteries. So what are we recycling? We need to recycle, though. I'll talk about that here in a second. I see you getting twitchy over there at the time. It's fair enough. How are we powering these cars? I drove up. I had to go down to the Twin Cities yesterday. Then I came up on 94 yesterday. And as I was driving my little Camry, I thought, what would I have to do if I had to charge this? Where are all those charging stations? How is energy getting to those charging stations? How is that energy being captured in the first place? We have to have those talks. And recycling is a huge part of that. But the International Energy Association estimates by 2040, recycling is only going to provide 12% of all the metals and minerals. It's not enough. And like I said, the US, Minnesota, we can't provide all the metals. But if we're not going to ask ourselves what we can provide, that's embarrassing. It's unethical. It's selfish. We are asking other countries to please provide for our privilege. We're better than that. That wasn't supposed to end with a question mark, but I live close to Canada, so I talk like Canadians. Please don't let there be any Canadians in the room who yell at me. We are better than that. These metals can be continued to be reused and recycled. Minnesota metals could power a big portion of Minnesota indefinitely. Metals are beautiful. They recycle well.